Good morning. I ask you to think this morning about some of the inventions in our life that make the way we live so comfortable. One of those inventions specifically being the light bulb. Now, Thomas Edison was the inventor of the light bulb. But I question, would there have ever been a light bulb if there was not power to give it light? If there was not electricity to power it? And that's the topic of what I'm going to talk about today. The gentleman who made it possible for us to have power to all of our houses. That gentleman is Nikola Tesla. Now, Nikola Tesla was born during a lightning storm, according to Rebecca Jacobson of PBS.org. According to her, the midwife, ironically, said it was a bad omen that he was born during a lightning storm and that he'd be a child of darkness. But his mother said no, he'd be a child of light. Probably not knowing all that Tesla would go on to do. It's interesting that that was said. The exact date of his birth was 1856, July 10th, in Croatia. Croatia is in Europe, and his exact ethnicity is Serbian. He eventually immigrated to the U.S. and became a natural citizen in 1891 at the age of 35. Before he came to the U.S., he went to the college in Prague as an electrical engineer and then worked for the Edison Company in Paris. After immigrating to the U.S., he worked for the Thomas Edison Company. And this is really where Tesla started to become a great inventor. According to Kristen Haugeisler of HowStuffWorks.com, Tesla built and invented many things, even while he was at Thomas Edison's corporation. Actually, Tesla worked on many things for Edison, such as a DC generator, which DC is direct current, a DC generator, and then there's several other patents for him, even helping him improve his light bulb. There were a few business endeavors that went a little bit south for Tesla at that point. And according to William Harris of HowStuffWorks.com, Tesla's best and crowning achievement was his improvement of what's called AC current. Now, AC current is alternating current. Without going into technical details, there was a war that happened in the 1800s. Not a literal war, but an economic war, or such and such. There was Thomas Edison, who had his direct current system, and then there was George Westinghouse, who had alternating current. After a few business deals went south for Tesla, Tesla actually had a few AC currents for a generator and stuff like that, and George Westinghouse decided he would buy those patents from Tesla and bring him in. After having his patents bought out by George Westinghouse and being hired by him, he helped to improve AC to a point where it was commercially practical. Thomas Edison disliked AC so much because he believed DC was better. But AC is what allowed us to have power in today's homes because you would not have to have a station every so miles like you would with DC, in simple terms. Dr. Eric Wieston stated in his biography on Wolfram.com that Westinghouse saw value in Tesla's patents, and that's why he was investing in them so heavily. And Alex Knapp of Forbes.com says that Tesla helped to tremendously improve the AC system, and he is probably what helped George Westinghouse win that battle, the AC versus DC battle. Tesla also had many other patents, just besides AC. He had a patent for radio that Marconi, the inventor of radio in Italy, improved on, which allowed us to have radio. Of course, the Tesla coil, which many of you probably have heard of, and a rotating magnetic field was another patent that Tesla had. And another strange thing that Tesla did is one of the crowning things that he tried to do is he tried to produce free energy. According to Mark Pilkington, on his article on Fortran.com, Tesla wanted to build a 200-foot tall tower that would generate free wireless electricity. This was called the Wardenclyffe Tower. It was going to be built in New York, and he was being funded by J.P. Morgan. But after running through about $200,000, J.P. Morgan did not want to fund it anymore because he didn't see it as being practical. However, Tesla's great idea in his mind was hopefully going to come to fruition, and if it would have worked, he was hoping it would provide free electricity. Rebecca Jacobson says in her article, 8 Things You Didn't Know About Nikola Tesla, that Nikola's patent for wireless communication between the towers was a patent later approved on to produce our cell phone technology by the scientists in the 80s. Hilariously, this patent is what gives us cell phones today, patented by Nikola Tesla. While Tesla was a great inventor, he was a little bit strange. David Freeman of the HuffingtonPost.com says Tesla had several strange quirks. He loved the number 3. He would walk around a building 3 times before he entered it just because it was the number 3. He did not like pearls, and he would not talk to any woman who wore pearls. Why? We don't know. He also loved pigeons. He loved pigeons so much that he lived in a hotel room, by the way. In the 20th floor of this hotel room, there would be pigeons who would come up to his balcony, and he would feed them every day. And one pigeon specifically he loved so much that, quote unquote, he wanted to marry it. Now that's a rumor, but he did love pigeons, and that's for sure. And also, he apparently invented a death ray, and he patented it, but the US government would never fund it as a military project, so it never came to fruition. Tesla was one of the greatest inventors of the 1800s. He helped us have energy to power our lights, and without him, our world would be drastically different. And to quote Tesla, "What the results of these investigations may be, the future will tell. But whatever they may be, and to whatever this principle may lead, I shall be sufficient recompensed if later it will be admitted that I have contributed a share, however small, to the advancement of science." And truly that was Nikola Tesla's purpose in life. This quote came from Adrian...
7 minutes.